Big dog boxing, motherfucker.
It's funny how the Latino men turn into comedians when Debo come around. Like none of them are tough. The one and only, I think, tough guy, and then he was on the Osterine, and then the other one was on the Osterine, and I'm like, where's the tough Ricans at?
Garcia's Mexican, Subriel is Puerto
Who
Rican, and
is
he was also on Osterine.
Hispanic men? Rolly turned into a comedian, a Cuban comic. Tio turned into an Ecuadorian comic.
No,
Honduran comic, Ryan Garcia, Mexican comic.
Subriel, Puerto
So
Rican.
now Xander Zayas is a Puerto Rican comic. It's more blacks that's riding with the comics than is there people that's ride with the comedy. Where Bad Bunny is said represent the culture, it didn't represent comedy. They were boxing. That represents boxing. The comedy is over here. I don't know a particular part of the Super Bowl that I seen him show a comic.
So in this video, guys, I wanted to talk about this video that Bill Haney did on the Boxer Voice, talking about Hispanic fighters and how he called them comedians, basically calling them clowns and all that, right? And the reason why I've selected this particular video to talk about today is because it helps me expose and point out the hypocrisy and double standards that go on in boxing and in the world in general, right? But I'm going to be focusing on the boxing aspect of it. So the first point that I have to make is, can you imagine the reaction or the backlash or the heat, or just imagine how fast this person would be canceled if a father of a Hispanic fighter or a trainer or anybody Hispanic came out and called a black fighter or called black fighters comedians and clowns? Just imagine how fast that guy would get canceled. He'd get called a racist. Let's use David's dad. Let's just say that Jose Benavidez Sr. came out and called all black fighters comedians and clowns. Can you imagine the backlash this guy would receive? He would be called a racist. People would be trying to cancel this guy ASAP. If Jose Benavidez came out and said all of these black fighters turn into comedians as soon as the monster David Benavidez gets brought up as a topic of conversation, can you imagine the backlash that he would receive? There would be people flipping cars over, looting stores. Black Lives Matters would be out marching in the streets and shit. But hey, it is what it is, man. So according to Bill Haney, all Hispanic fighters turn into comedians as soon as Devin Haney's brought up, right? Well then, Bill, go and try to make a fight with Virgil Ortiz. See how many jokes Virgil Ortiz makes. I bet you anything Bill Haney won't try to line that fight up. And you can't even use the excuse that, oh, well, Virgil Ortiz is too big. No, because Bill Haney is actively trying to get a fight with Xander Zayas, who's in the same weight class as Virgil Ortiz. But he won't do that. You guys noticed that Bill didn't say anything about Virgil Ortiz in that video, right? And that's because Bill Haney's not a stupid man. He's only calling out fighters that he either knows his son can beat or thinks that his son can beat. Because I'm not convinced that Devin Haney beat Xander Zayas. Think about this. Devin Haney's success as a boxer has always been having a height and reach advantage over all those little guys at 135. Think about Jojo Diaz, Yuriokis Gamboa, George Kambosos, Lomachenko. But against Xander Zayas, he won't have any height or reach advantage. Devin Haney is 5'9". Meanwhile, Xander Zayas is 6 foot. Zayas has a 74-inch reach. Meanwhile, Haney only has a 71-inch reach. If Haney's game plan is to fight on his back foot and use his jab to control the distance, that's going to be a lot harder to do because Zayas has longer legs and can break the distance on Devin Haney versus the smaller guys that Haney is used to fighting. But it's all speculation right now. Besides, I don't think that fight is next anyways. I just think that this was Bill Haney's attempt to try and make a fight between Zayas and his son. But Xander has already stated that his main focus right now is try and get a third belt. But if all else fails, Xander will be happy to put that loss back on Haney's record. But back to the race baiting and double standards. I've heard people say that the reason why black fighters try to go after Latino or Hispanic fighters is because black versus black fighters don't sell. And I don't agree with that because Shakur Stevenson, he can sell out in his own hometown of Newark, and he doesn't necessarily have to fight a Hispanic fighter to do that. And the same thing with Jerome Butsinis. Butsinis can sell out in an arena versus a Amantas Stanionis from Lithuania. Keyshawn Davis can sell out in Norfolk, Virginia, fighting a Denis Berinchuk from the Ukraine. So it's not that black fighters can't sell when they fight one another. It's just that there's this one black fighter that can't sell fighting just anybody. And that black fighter that I'm talking about is Devin Haney. That is why the Haneys resort to race baiting to try to get fights. And that is because Devin Haney has a personality of a W-2 tax return. Devin Haney lacks personality. 1 minute he's from the town, he's from Oakland. Then the next minute he's from Vegas. But he can't sell out in either city. And that's because this dude is a fugazi. He's a fraud. Even though Devin Haney is a very accomplished fighter, right? He's a future Hall of Famer and all that good stuff. But the streets don't fuck with him, man. It's that simple. And I have to give Devin his props. Devin Haney will fight. I will give him that. You know, for the most part, Devin Haney will not run from the smoke. He will run towards it. However, I already know what the fight is going to look like. Devin Haney is going to jab and grab and clinch his way to a safe and boring decision win. And that type of fighting, I don't care to watch ever again. And that's a problem that I have with Devin Haney. That style of fighting, it don't belong on television, and especially not on pay-per-view. Devin Haney belongs on a prelim somewhere. And with that, I'll catch you on the next one. And y'all already know, once again, this has been your boy, Big O Dow, boxing in a mouth. Just